We're live,
All
babe.
right, we're live, baby. Welcome to the TD Report. We're 3 weeks out. 3 weeks out until the NFL kicks off. We got my man Cody Bennett on here right now. He is gonna kick us off with his fantasy and get us going, man. Hey, look, Cody, what's up, man? Everything good? How's Miami treating you?
Oh, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. This is where I'm gonna be at. I'm never coming back home. But
Hey, man,
yeah,
that's our
nah,
man,
I'm
South Beach Cody.
South Beach Cody. Check me out. But no, I'm not gonna give you all everything. I'm just gonna give you a little bit. I'm gonna give you some top guys that I think are set for a breakout year at a couple different positions. And make sure you keep tuning in each week because I'll give you a little bit more. And especially as the season starts, I'll be giving you injury updates, starting updates, and everything that you need to know to get started and keep going and keep winning in fantasy. So, I mean, some of the guys, we'll start with wide receiver. And after this, I'll also post on the TD Report page my rankings so you can see all of my rankings per position. But again, I'm just going to mention some guys I think that are set to break out and have a decent year here. Um, I'm on Ross St. Brown from Detroit. I have him ranked 14th overall this year. I think he's going to have a monster year. I think he's somebody that you could draft mid draft and in the mid rounds and really come out with a steal. I think he had a great consistent year towards the end of the season last year, and that was great. Gabriel Davis is another one, and if you follow fantasy at all, you've probably heard his name a lot.
Buffalo,
Buffalo. Yep,
he had
yep.
the 4 touchdowns in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I have him ranked 19th overall right now. And then third, I got Rashad Bateman. I think Rashad Bateman's set to have a great year this year and down in Baltimore.
Ravens,
Yep,
wide
Ravens
receiver.
wide receiver. Yeah, he gained a little bit of traction throughout last year, in a rookie season. And now that Marquise Brown is up out of there, Hollywood Brown, he's no longer there. Rashad Bateman's going to slide right into that role and take those targets, who I think is a better wide receiver.
Marquise.
Um,
His name ain't Hollywood.
yeah, Marquise Brown. Yeah. But again, I have a couple more people on here that I've spotlighted along with overall rankings through the top 50 wide receivers. So make sure you tune in to the Twitter page. Follow us on there at the TD Report, actually at TD underscore report. And all the rankings will be posted there. But moving on to running back. So these rankings I have a lot different than a lot of people. Like someone I'm very high on this year is Najee Harris. I actually have him ranked third overall. I would take him as a first round pick all day long in any draft.
He was my
And,
rookie of the year last year on offense for offense rookie of the year.
and keep in mind, guys, these are all of PPR rankings. So I'll have standard league rankings come next week as well. We probably won't highlight those as much, but they will be out there for the ones who still are playing standard league fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy that I have at running back who I think is going to have a monster year this year is DeAndre Swift from Detroit, who I have ranked 8th overall. I think he's going to have a great one. And keeping suit with the Ravens, I think J.K. Dobbins coming back off this injury is hungry to see the field, and I think he's going to have a great year too. I think he's somebody that a lot of people forgot about. I think you'll be able to get him in the mid rounds or late early and be able to come up with a steal.
Yeah, he has to
Uh,
be productive for the Ravens to win this
yeah,
season.
an honorable mention for someone who I think also is going to have that same kind of path as Travis Etienne down in Jacksonville. He's back. He's back finally, and he was a monster running back at Clemson, and I think he'll be really good this year with the weapons that they've built and the line that they've acquired down there in Jacksonville. So,
We'll see him 3 weeks from tonight. That guy, he will be playing in that first
yep,
preseason game.
absolutely. So moving on to quarterback. Now, a lot of times these rankings through quarterbacks stay pretty much the same every year. Obviously, I've swapped up a couple here just based on production and wide receiver ads and how much they may be throwing the ball versus running. Uh, and I'll have, again, all of these out on TD underscore report on Twitter afterwards. But just some that I want to highlight. My quarterback that I have ranked 12th overall this year is Tua out of Miami. People hate this kid, but I think this is his year. I think quarterbacks take a lot of I think some quarterbacks take time to develop. And in this league, when you don't make it your first year, you're already kind of getting tossed out. When you don't make it your second year, you're already really getting thrown out the door. And I think for him to have a chance this third year, I think this is his time to start to really show the development that he's made over the past two seasons. So I have him ranked 12th overall at quarterback. Another one that I got in here is Trey Lance in San Francisco. I think he will be a starter, and I think he will take over that team. And then Zach Wilson at 13 overall.
Stifler's mom.
I got Stifler's mom. I think he's going to ride this wave in the media. I think he's got some weapons. This kid, he was throwing some dimes last year before he lost that went down with that injury, and I think him being back and being healthy, and kind of being thrown into the media spotlight a bit more with some drama. I think this kid's going to come out and ball this year, and especially for fantasy, I think they're going to throw the ball a lot, and
Stifler's mom.
And then we're going to go over to tight ends. Again, all of these rankings through all of the top 50 and top 25 players per position will be posted on at TD_report after this on Twitter. So make sure you follow us. I'll post them over to Facebook as well. But just some honorable mentions that I got for some breakout players at tight end. I have him ranked 6th overall this year. I'm a big fan of this guy, but Pat Freiermuth in Pittsburgh. I think he's going to go off. I think he's going to eat up a lot of targets because, I mean, they're going to have a quarterback battle between Kenny Pickett and Mitch Trubisky over there in Pittsburgh. I think Pickett will get the starting job, but regardless, either one of those guys will be using their tight end heavy as a security blanket, and especially with how they call plays in Pittsburgh, those tight ends are heavily involved downfield. And this guy showed a lot of promise last year, and I think this year, with really being the true starter, he's going to make a big difference, especially in fantasy. He's going to eat up in targets. Another guy that I have down here is Irv Smith Jr. down in Minnesota. I think Irv Smith Jr. is he's finally gonna show out a bit. He's got a good shot here to really be able to show what he can do. He put in a great combine. He was pretty highly touted coming into the draft, and he hasn't really had a shot there to have him as the lead role at tight end. And this year, he's really going to get that big shot.
He's in a new offense too, right? With a new coach. That coach should have been your head coach.
That coach loves using the tight end. And then another guy that I have is Dawson Knox up in Buffalo. He was kind of a sleeper last year, and he got a lot of touchdowns. He got a decent amount of targets, and I think he's going to be someone else that will be able to be a reliable starter week in and week out for fantasy. Najee Harris will be in the hunt for the rushing title this year. Yeah, no, I agree. And like I said, a lot of people have him ranked down towards like 7 and 8 for fantasy value in PPR. And I just don't see that happening. I see a lot of passes coming out of the backfield. I have him ranked 3rd overall. I think he's going to be a top end running back who's going to be a league winner for a lot of people. The same as that I said last year. I rode with him then. And I'm going to go ahead and ride with him again this year. That's my 1 of 1.
So you guys know, this is Cody. South Beach Cody, he's giving us his long shots and his picks for fantasy this year. We're going to start running a segment every week on the TD Report with Cody giving you kind of an update, kind of what to do, how to do it, when to do it, where to do it. There's a lot of things involved in this, man. The man studies this stuff.
Absolutely.
He knows what he's doing.
Check me out on Twitter. I'm at Cody Bennett NFL. You see my name here at the bottom, Cody Bennett, and then just NFL right on Twitter. But yeah, we'll have the Bennett breakdown on the TD Report here every week. Make sure you follow all of the socials so that way you can get these updates if you do tend to miss an episode. But like I said, and like Tony said, just to reiterate, I gave you some of these breakout players that I think are set for big years this year. The rankings will be dropped so that way you can use these as cheat sheets when it comes to draft day to really see who I have ranked up at position. And we're going to get more and more info as the season gets going here. First, I'm going to help you prep for your drafts. That's big. We got that coming up. August 13th is usually your first draft week. Some people draft earlier, so we'll be touching in on a lot of that early on. But when the season starts, make sure you tune in because I'm dropping injury news, people to pick up week by week that you should really look at, and I'm getting this news out there before a lot of people, so you can jump on it before any of your opponents in your league can get on it. So,
There you go. You see it, man. You got my man coming here. Cody, give me a insight on what is a one defense that if somebody had a gun to your head that you would take this year.
man, defenses are really iffy, and the way I draft, like I don't draft a defense. I usually stream a different defense every week, depending on matchups. So I really play it week by week as far as who the weak offenses have been throughout the year and the previous week. And yeah, whoever, I'm not sure who this is. You don't got your name up. It just says Facebook user, but they said Buffalo. That's a good one. Buffalo's great, but then again, when Buffalo comes up and plays Kansas City, you don't want them. They're going to put up -6 points on your bench. So, there's games where I don't even play with the defense in fantasy.
I'm going to give you my underrated defense this year, and I hate this team to death, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is going to be solid.
Yeah, I mean they've been solid for every year. They're a playable defense, but again, the best way to run that defense on fantasy is to really play it week by week. Jacksonville's been shitty every week. Look at who they're playing next week and go pick them up. Put a waiver claim in for them. Whoever's playing the Giants, you probably got a good shot to have a good defense. You know what I mean? Like that. These are the teams that you. Yeah.
Stop it. Everybody's disrespecting the Giants.
I don't mean this year. I meant more last year. That's just the trend. Okay. That's just the trend you play it. You watched as it was going, and every week you go, all right, the Giants aren't picking back up. I'm going to go ahead and grab whoever the hell they're playing next week and plug them in defense.
But that's my sleeper for the year. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, they got Miles Jack. They got the best rusher in the game, and T.J. Watt.
T.J. Watt is a dog.
Then they got a dog, Fitzpatrick, on the back level. So they got a person on each level that are good.
They got him for such a steal, too.
Yeah, so, this year's going to be extremely tough. Oh, that's Kim. Hey, she's a Steelers fan. I'm just picking your boys because what
Tuitt leaving will free up Wormley to get going. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe right. Yeah, I mean those are some things. Listen.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. A huge pickup. Getting Jack was a huge pickup. Yeah.
Miles Jack was a pickup. I think if Trubisky gets to start and plays like he played that last year with Chicago, Pittsburgh's going to be a problem in the AFC.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Pittsburgh plays old style.
They have – see, I think Kenny Pickett was a great move for that offense. Their running back that they have out there is going to be killing it. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's without a doubt. They have great wide receivers that they just shored up. The defense is going to step up. I mean, they're going to be dangerous this year, man. And then their coaching is always A1. Shout out. So.
Yeah, I just think that everybody, get enamored with all this Ben Roethlisberger's gone and all this other BS. And,
guys, make sure you follow us on Twitter. It's TD_report. That's where all of these rankings for fantasy are going to be posted, and that's where we always go live every week if you can't catch us on Facebook or YouTube.
Yeah. So, so what I want to make sure, Cody, give me your surprise quarterback. Just one that nobody's really looking at. That
Tua.
You think is going to have a great year.
Tua.
Don't say that because you in Miami.
I'm not. I'm really not. I promise I'm not.
You must have thought Tua at Wet Willie's or something.
No, I'm in the area of the news, man, and I got my sources, and I'm telling you right now, that kid is going to surprise some people this year.
Yeah. So Dave just got here, man. He trying to get on, but
okay.
So give me someone that you didn't name already that's just
Trevor
going to be
Lawrence.
a breakout. You think Trevor Lawrence? We're going to see him in 3 weeks now. You think he's going to be that advanced in a new offense, new coach?
I think he's going to look light years better than he did last year.
Hey, let Dave in. He's coming in now.
Yeah. As soon as he pops up, I got him. Would like to see that put some more weight on and be more durable.
Oh,
Oh,
Trevor Lawrence.
maybe Pickett. I think he's talking about Pickett.
Pickett.
Just give me a mic.
I'm liking the hat, Dave.
Yeah, he trying to get his mic set up. He got that UVA
Okay.
hat on.
Whenever you back in, I'll pull you back in.
Okay.
Tua.
Yeah,
Tua. I'm
so
trying
Tua
to
is
tell
your
you.
guy.
Yeah. This kid is going to surprise people this year. You're going to see not necessarily a whole new quarterback, but you're going to see a developed quarterback. Somebody who literally has progressed. You're not going to see a lot of the same mistakes.
You know who my MVP is for this year?
Who?
Mahomes. I think he's going to have his best year, probably his best year ever with that receiving core because they're deeper and they're much better.
I got Juju highlighted as well. I actually have him ranked 19th overall. And
who's the other guy? Lazard?
Adam
They got Scanlon. What's the guy's name they got from Green Bay?
Valdez Scantling.
Yeah, Valdez Scantling. Dude, they loaded their wide receiver, man. They're going to be a problem.
We're getting an echo here. How are we doing this?
Probably getting an echo because Dave turned his mic on. So we.
Oh, okay. It's better. It's better now. It's better. Okay.
Can you hear Dave?
You should be able to.
I can. Yeah. Yep.
You can hear Dave.
Yeah, you should be able to.
Dave, you might have to plug into your into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Once you plug in, then you won't hear the echo. And I just turn mine down a little bit.
The defense in KC is going to take a hit. Yeah, I mean, but they've played without a good defense for years and been Super Bowl contenders every year without a great defense. So I don't think they're going to struggle too bad. I think they've upgraded on offense in the points where they were weak. And, they lost Tyreek Hill, but I think they're going to work on spreading the ball out more because that was more of a game of if you're able to bracket and stop Tyreek, you can stop Kansas City.
Yes, you could.
Now Andy Reid's really going to bust the coaching out and really pull these playbooks out and have to get everybody involved. And they also have upgraded running backs over there now. They're going to be good this year again and again and again.
This might be a Devin question, but this is also a Cody question. What's going to happen with Eric Ebron as far as what his role is? Is it going to change? Is he going to be given a little bit more?
I mean, I think it's all going to stay the same until Andy Reid's out of there. To be honest, I think he's already heavily involved, and I think he's more involved than what people may think he is. And I don't think there's any need to come out publicly and speak about how involved he is because he's probably going to be the head coach at some point anyway.
Yeah. I think his role is probably, like you said, understated. But they've won a couple of years now, trying to get that second Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And this ain't show friends, this is show business.
So, listen, man, they did something that's never been done before.
Headphones in, Dave?
What's that?
You got your headphones in?
I do.
Let me try to unmute. Try to unmute your mic and see if it doesn't echo.
Yeah, I'm muted.
How's that?
Sounds clear. You got your other piece you can put in or no?
Yeah, I got it right here, but I didn't want it too close to Tony, right?
Yeah, but I think your mic's on one side. I think it's.
Oh, okay. So if he goes over the other side of the table, does that help?
Yeah.
What do you think? Cool.
Yeah, we're good.
Hey, man, before we get too far down the road, let's give a shout out to Bill West. It's his birthday.
Oh, yeah, Bill West. What's up, buddy?
Thank you, Bill, for always supporting the show, brother.
Bad echo.
Bad echo. You want me to turn my mic off?
Hold on. I'm going to try to turn you down some, see if I can.
All right. So,
What's up?
or we're doing the divisions.
Oh, he did the break. He broke down the we won't get to the divisions now. So name up that list for the divisions.
Give me just a sec. Hold on, guys. I'm messing with the sound. Hold on.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry about it. We get it together. I'll start bringing the laptop now.
I got my pony hat on today, buddy.
I see you, baby. I see you.
Unmute your mic real quick, Dave.
I'm unmuted.
All right, hold on. Just stay
All right.
unmuted. I'm
Yes,
messing with
sir.
the level. So.
Looks like the town in Washington is playing the Nats this weekend.
They were just down 2-0. They gonna have to fight the rest of this season, dude.
Nats playing terrible. Meanwhile, Baltimore Orioles have won 10 games in a row and are at 500. They're still 18 games out, but they're about 3 games out of the wild card now.
Which is
And the
amazing.
season ended today. They finished 3 games behind the wild card.
I also want to say happy Bastille Day to all my French folks. Happy Bastille Day to you guys. Big fits.
It's just an excuse to drink.
No, that was a real Independence Day.
It's an excuse to drink.
Does that sound better, guys? Sound better at all?
Hey, I feel like I sound great all the time, Cody.
Let me know in the comments, y'all, if that sounds okay
Yeah.
for you guys, if you can hear us all.
I think Derek Law is out there. Derek, where you at, buddy?
See that big Washington thing behind me?
Yep.
That's what I was talking about in the Facebook post.
It's nice.
Get out
Oh.
of here.
Can we do these divisions now? Let's run through this AFC. Let's go with the AFC first.
Okay, Cody, do you have that list that I sent you, Cody, that had the worst to first?
Let's talk the worst to first.
Let's list the list of the worst. These are the worst from last year for the divisions. Numbers on my page, it was in the text.
Oh, I just got denied again. I just got denied again for Miami Marlins credentials.
Just
Sorry.
keep going after them. They'll forget and put you on there. You know how we
So
do
you
with
said-
the PD report.
You didn't send me anything,
It's on
Tony.
the text. Go to the text. The text with the worst to first list. It had all the worst teams.
Wide receivers?
No,
it
it's
had
the
one
teams.
before
The
that.
one before that.
It had all the worst teams. The one that Tommy couldn't get in his head that these were the worst teams.
Oh, okay, I got you. NFL's worst wide receiver course.
No,
No.
teams.
Teams.
Keep going up.
Before Stifler's mom?
Yeah,
Before Stifler's mom, yeah.
Oh, worst
we're
to
good.
first. Okay, I got you. So the AFC, your worst to first teams, which I agree with.
They were just giving you the worst.
Yeah, just read them out.
Read them out.
So you got the Jets, you got the Jaguars, you got Denver, and you got Baltimore.
Denver will go worst to first. Denver would go worst to first.
Ravens got a good chance of going worst to first.
Ravens have a shot to go worst to first as well.
I got the Jets going worst to first.
In that division with Buffalo and New England, man, you lost your mind.
You gonna let him sleep in the big house? You have to
Watch.
burn the sheets, the bed, everything.
Watch.
You lost your mind.
Worst to first. I got Denver going worst to first. Denver. I'll just put
They
write
might
it
go.
down.
They might
lock
go.
it
They
in.
might. They might go like worst to second, but still,
And
watch.
guess what? We all three missed the biggest one that might go worst to first.
Yeah.
Jacksonville.
Shout out to Russell Wilson from Richmond, Virginia. Got to give him some love, man. Should have got him at UVA, man. Al Groh messed up. Al Groh really messed up.
So for the NFC, you got the Giants, Detroit, Carolina, and Seattle.
I'm gonna say something crazy.
Detroit.
Giants might mess around and go worst to first, buddy.
I got Detroit.
They might mess around and go worst to first.
Detroit ain't beat no Green Bay on Minnesota.
No, Minnesota won't go worst to
They didn't
first.
beat Chicago.
Right.
I don't know, man.
Seattle ain't doing it.
That's right.
Seattle ain't doing it. Ain't gonna come close.
Right.
They know where it is.
They still don't even have a quarterback.
It will be the Giants. Who's the other one?
Minnesota, Seattle,
Detroit. The Giants, Detroit,
Seattle, and the
Seattle, and
Carolina.
Carolina. I would take Carolina.
with Baker Mayfield
With
at quarterback.
Well, it's going to be a quarterback battle between him and Darnold.
That ain't gonna be no battle. Baker got that.
Mm,
Baker got that.
Baker got
That's
that.
why they went out.
Baker got that.
Baker
But
got it.
Yeah, Baker
it's going to
got
be
that.
fun to watch. It's going to be fun to watch.
Oh, it will. It will.
It is. So those were the first teams.
Yeah, we need to bang that. Yeah, that's
So, Cody, in that list, last year, go back to the AFC. Give me the first team that was worse than the first. That's on that list.
That's on that same text?
Yeah, give me the first team that you saw on the list.
You
On the
had
AFC.
the Jets,
Who won that division last year?
Buffalo.
How close were they to Buffalo?
oh God.
You going to find out.
The Jets to Buffalo. The Jets were what, 6-10 last year? I mean 6-11. Is that how bad did they even win 6?
Let's find out.
I don't think so. I don't think they even won 6. Yeah. Last I saw them, I think they had 10 losses when I looked.
They were 4-13, and the Bills were 11-6.
The Jets will not go worse to first.
They're going to go worse to second, though.
Wow.
So, what's the next team over?
Baltimore.
Dolphins.
Oh,
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
No, I'm talking about the next.
Worse to first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get back to it. Baltimore, yeah.
Okay, so in that
Baltimore
division,
go worse to first.
that division was only separated by 2 games.
Correct.
So that's possible. Is Baltimore as good as Cincinnati?
The comment lounge isn't feeling the Jets.
Hell no, done. So Baltimore is closer to Cincinnati
Then the Jets
are
Of course.
the Bills.
Of course.
Because actually on that whole list, Baltimore was the only team that was ranked number 1 from November or December on.
Yeah. You could almost say last year in the playoffs, you could almost say that the Bengals were very
So they
fortunate.
said this person says Baltimore sucks, but you got to remember Baltimore had 16 starters hurt last year.
Yeah. They were one of the
Baltimore
most
had the
injured
number
teams.
1 seed. They had the number 1 seed at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
They had the number 1 seed in the AFC.
With 16 starters out.
With 16 starters out. Amazing.
They said so.
We
He
are
said so.
closer. Baltimore was closer to Cincinnati
Of course.
than the Jets are to Buffalo.
Of course.
What's the next one over?
Jags.
Jags. And who won that division?
What?
Oh, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
The
Yeah,
Jags are
yeah.
closer to
And then Tannehill embarrassed himself.
Jags are nowhere near Tennessee, Tony. Nowhere near.
I disagree, man.
Not yet. Not yet. They're at least a year away.
They're closer than the Jets are to Buffalo.
I don't know. Let's ask our listeners.
What was the record last year, Cody?
Well, they went 3-14 last year, and the Titans went 12-5. So they're actually farther away than the Jets are to Buffalo.
Exactly.
That's
But they
one
did.
I
But
would take.
I would say
I would
this:
take the Jags going closer to them than the damn Jets.
in a 17-game
Wow,
season, in a
You're wild.
17-game season, how many more games is Doug Peterson worth? I think he might be worth at least 4 games
Okay, and
as
then
coach.
how many more games is ATN worth and a good second-year quarterback?
We're going to find out.
ATN should be fresh.
ATN should be fresh. He hasn't played in 2 years.
Yeah.
So
I think his last carry might have been in the college football. His last game carry might have been in the college football playoff.
No, his last game carry was when he tore his ACL in preseason.
I thought he tore it before the season.
no, I think he tore it in preseason.
He
It
tore
was
it in
like
preseason?
it was like first play.
Okay, preseason don't count.
Yeah,
I'm talking about game rep. Okay,
right.
yeah. That boy
So then-
ain't seen no parts of the field in
And
a
then
real
you got
NFL game.
Denver.
Denver looks great. I
You
saw
had the
some.
number 3 defense in the league last year
Yes, they did,
without a quarterback.
and beat Dallas's ass in
Yeah.
Dallas. Whooped that trick. Whoop that trick. Listen, that game in Dallas with Denver, they should make those guys watch that tape every freaking day. They shouldn't have lost that game the way that they did.
Yeah,
Dallas didn't wake up until the
so
third freaking quarter.
Broncos were 7-10 last year, and the Chiefs were 12-5, and I don't see them coming out here and beating the Chiefs this year.
Russell Wilson is going to change everything.
Is Russell Wilson worth 5 games?
Yes. If he's fully healthy and he stays that way, he is worth 4 games at least.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing though, is a healthy Kansas City with a new wide receiver core worth more than 12 games.
Okay.
Let's give him 14 games.
Yeah.
Denver's going to increase by at least 4 games this year.
Yes.
That puts him at 11-6.
Yeah.
If they win any fewer than 10 games, something's wrong.
Okay.
If Denver goes 10-7, that's a disappointment.
Me personally, I got the
Complete
entire
a KC secondary. Denver can work KC in a shootout. Yeah, but KC can keep up. They've shown that year in and year out.
KC can play it almost any way you want it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to slow play, if you want to go score for score with them like the Bills did in the in the playoffs, that's what you do not want to do.
Right.
That's like saying we're gonna beat Golden State Warriors in a 3-point shooting contest.
No, you're
That's
not.
not gonna happen.
No, you're not.
So, yeah, you know what? As I look at it now, I'm really putting Denver light, but for some reason, something's telling me KC is going to be more dominant this year than last year.
Listen, I like what Denver did. Backing up the Brinks truck, getting Russell Wilson in there. They feel like they have pocket aces with that defense and Russell Wilson. They feel like they've got pocket aces, and they're going to go all in against anybody.
I got to bounce.
You got to bounce?
I got to bounce,
All right,
but it's great.
Hey,
Great
man,
as
I want
always.
to talk to you about some audio-visual stuff I need you to do for me, man.
Yeah,
Hook me
you're
up.
good at going,
What
for
was the
sure.
last one?
What?
What was the last one in the NFC? So I can we can go with it.
Where's the first? Minnesota.
No.
No. It was. Hold on.
It's definitely Detroit.
Yeah, it was Detroit.
Giants.
Detroit, the Giants, Carolina, and Seahawks.
All right. Thanks, Cody.
Thanks, Cody.
Yep. All right, fellas.
Appreciate you. All right, Tony. Let's hash this out. Worst to first. You might be right about Carolina. It won't be Detroit, but I did like the way Detroit played last year. They played like men. I appreciated that. So if they're going to play for this coach, all they got to do is keep drafting. Keep drafting, keep developing, right? The question is going to be, does the front office want to be good in 4 years and then never be good again and be back in the same role, or do you want to be good for 10? Because if you want to be good for 10 years, you got to draft it. If you do it the free agent way, you're only good for 3 or 4 years, and then your free agent moves on, retires, whatever.
So we agree they can beat Chicago. But
Absolutely.
they won't be able to beat Green Bay or Minnesota.
Correct. Not yet.
So the next one is the Giants.
I love them.
Giants are the Giants closest to the Cowboys.
Yes.
The Detroit is to Green Bay.
Yes. I would have to say so. And you and I talked about it in the production meeting. These guys did such a great job in New York with that draft. Drafting on both sides of the football and getting a stud in Kayvon Thibodeau. He's going to help the NFC. He is going to make the NFC East. Him and Chase Young are going to make the NFC East scary on defense. You come into Washington, you come to New York, you better protect your quarterback. That's all I'm going to say. Because they can get around the edge. I think Chase Young is going to have a great season this year, but we can talk about that later. He's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. But Kayvon Thibodeau, I like what the Giants did.
Okay, so the next one will be Carolina. Are they closer to Tampa Bay?
With that defense, maybe. They didn't have a terrible defense. The defense wasn't bad at all. It's a top 10 defense. if they can get anything out of Baker Mayfield and catch some lightning in a bottle, should be interesting in the NFC South.
We're not going to talk about the next division with Seattle. They have no chance.
Seattle has no chance.
No chance.
No dough, no show.
Ain't no way they beat San Francisco. They're not beating the Rams. Who else is in that division?
Oh, out in the West? Arizona.
No.
They're in the world. What I say on the radio, what I say on the show, on the call in, they in a world of hurt. They're gonna get that butt whooped. They're gonna get that butt tapped frequently. Well, this is next year is a good year to be picking. Some good quarterbacks coming out. Try to get that kid out of Alabama. Might have you something. You know, the quarterback draft next year, they said, was better than the quarterback draft this year.
Yeah,
Everybody's, let's be honest. Everybody that got a quarterback in this draft, in the first round, second round, they reached. They all did. And I didn't think that was a great idea. So the teams like the Giants that resisted that urge to get a quarterback and said, you know what? We're picking at what, 7, 8, 9, and Thibodeau is still here? Man, let's get this dude. You see what I'm saying? Thibodeau falling in that draft helped the division. The NFC East has just been indulgence for years. It's not the same division. But the teams in the NFC East have got to draft like they all used to. Philadelphia had a great draft, too. Great draft. Great, and then great free agents. Yeah, great draft. So we've talked about worst to first. Let's talk about what we think is going on with quarterbacks. Are we able to get Devin on tonight? Is he going to dial in? He's at 7 on. Hey, man, good luck with 7 on 7, Devin. He's working. No, he's working. You know what I say about the 7 on 7 workouts for high school? It's really for those quarterbacks. It's to get them those reps. That's all it's for. Yep. That's nothing for nobody but them. Yeah, I agree. But, you know, we wanted to talk a little bit about some quarterback play. Having Devin on would be great. We'll get him on next week. We'll get him on. Thanks, Devin. We'll get you on next week for that.
What we want to do is set everybody up. I put the lineup up. We'll have Big Wayne.
Wayne the Voice.
For the year. Voice for the Terrible Towel, for the Steelers. Jerk for the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Bill West, happy birthday.
Ravens
Pride. My man Marvin Chambers up there for the new Jets and the Giants. Jody Coleman, the king of the Midwest, bringing you Cincinnati and Cleveland. My man CJ from America's team. You know what it is. We'll have
the Washington Commanders?
Yeah, that's right there in the back. That's Washington Commanders.
Oh, it's not the Commanders? I thought they were America's team.
They're America's Nightmare.
Yeah, America's Nightmare, huh? Okay.
So, and then we're going to have my man Tommy, who's going to be breaking down the defense for the Washington football fans, for you guys to stop blaming everybody, this and that. We're going to do some little film work this year.
Yep.
We're going to get some film work done.
Get some graphics. Get some graphics. We got Cody on the graphics.
We're going to bring a whole new thing for you guys, man. Educate you guys. We're here for the social. That place over there is going to be my bank. Because that's where I'm going to make all my money for my games this year. I'm going to bang that out. So,
hey, listen, we got to give a shout out. DeAndre Ayton today for the Phoenix Suns signed an offer sheet with the Indiana Pacers, 4 years, $133 million. And Phoenix Suns have 48 hours to respond. They can match it and keep him, or they can let him go and get the little compensation and move on. DeAndre Ayton, I think he's gone. That's going to impact Phoenix a lot. He helped get them, you know, as far as they could go. They should have won the championship 2 years ago. Should have won that championship against the Bucks. Just fell apart at the end. And and Chris Paul got hurt as usual. He's getting old. I mean, he's getting old. No I'm not disrespecting Chris Paul. I'm just saying you can't expect to push his body, you know, that far into the playoffs like that.
You put farewell ACC. What's going on?
Oh, the ACC's done, Tony. As a league, we're done.
Why you saying that?
Oh, we're going to get, oh man, everyone's going to take all the pieces out. They're going to end up in the SEC, Tony. The band is breaking up, or the Big Ten, the band is breaking up. Everyone wants to go solo, Tony. It's a shame. I feel like a party has ended, man. It's not going to be the same.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be the same, dog.
And I was talking with my friend Kevin Gibbs. Hey man, shout out to Kevin Gibbs, man. Kevin Gibbs was saying it's not like the old days because no JP Pilot, Jefferson Pilot Sports, Raycom, 8 teams in the ACC. You can finish the whole ACC tournament in 3 days. Friday, was it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? You go into Greensboro Thursday night. You have the afternoon sessions on Thursday. Friday, quarterfinals. Saturday is the semis. Championships on Sunday, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock tip. Yep. All the Carolina fans will be buying their tickets from Virginia fans because we was terrible for so long. You get the whole book of tickets. You ain't going to have them tickets going into the next round or the round after that. You can find Carolina fans. You went down to the old ones when Greensboro, when they would never.
I went down in Charlotte one year.
Well, that was the big city for them.
That's why I stayed with the Curry. That's why I'm staying with them.
You stay with Stephen. Hey, listen, the ACC, what we had in the ACC, and this was when Maryland was a member of the league. It was what do you say? What do you say on your favorite movie, Jackie Brown? What happened to you, man? You used to be beautiful. ACC was something, man. Not as much in football, but in basketball. When it hit basketball, Midnight Madness, you know, my man Lefty Drizel, Terry Holland, man, that was fun. Dean Smith, young Mike Krzyzewski. And I mean, this is when Krzyzewski was a kid. He was a young dude. And with him coming into the ACC, Dean Smith changed the ACC. He helped integrate the league, had the flagship program in the league in basketball, arguably one of the top 2 or 3 programs in the country in basketball for a solid 20 or 30 years. He is the reason there's a shot clock. Well, Ralph Sampson's the reason there's a shot clock.
Dean Smith had to put corners before Ralph Sampson.
Yeah. They had to put it in there. But when they got Ralph Sampson in Virginia, there was one game, I think it was the ACC championship. What was the score? 35 to 30? 37-35. With all them draft picks on the floor. Man, them NBA people were sitting there like, oh, hell nah. UVA fans, by the way, me being one of them, UVA fans are still pissed off about that one. They are still mad. What was that? That would have been 81?
81.
So Ralph would have been a freshman that year. Ralph was a sophomore.
81,
Yeah. Because 80 was, did Duke win it in 80?
Yeah,
or Jim Spanarkel?
When they undercut Albert King.
Yeah, but undercut Albert King on the rebound. Yeah. That was Jim Spanarkel and them, right? Gene Banks?
Yep.
Damn. No lie. I ain't gonna diss the Dukies on this one. That 80 team was good. That was a good team. I'm not gonna front on them. You know. Now it wasn't like the Tommy Amaker and Johnny Dawkins teams. Like 86 Duke didn't win the national championship. They lost in the championship, I think, to Purvis Ellison in Louisville, right? 86 Duke.
Yep.
Hey man, shout out to Johnny Dawkins. Johnny Dawkins, you could say Johnny Dawkins and Tommy Amaker might have saved Mike Krzyzewski's job.
Ain't no Mike, they did.
He brought in a monster class that year when those guys came in. So those guys would have come in 81 and 82. Allery, Billis, Amaker, and Dawkins came in 82 and got them to the championship in 86. And then they never went down after that. They were always good after that. 87 on, because after that they brought in Danny Ferry. You know, you could argue that they don't get Danny Ferry unless they come into that Catholic League in D.C. and get Johnny Dawkins out of Mackin. That's what I think. Shout out to Mackin Catholic. It's no longer a school anymore. But Mackin Catholic used to have the top basketball team in the city, one of the best teams in D.C. for years. Used to rival DeMatha. They're very, very good teams back in the day. Hey, listen, if you look at what the ACC has been able to do in terms of growing and developing smart growth, people will say that Florida State wasn't a match for the ACC. You know what? You bring them in for football like they did, Florida State was not bad for the ACC. Not bad. Because at the time when we brought them in, they had Charlie Ward.
The
That
ACC, because they got brought in with the Raycom and the Jefferson Pilot, because the commissioner was friends with those guys, they spent years sputtering, just turning their wheels and not making it profitable like it should have been. When you think of the ACC, when it went from Miami all the way to Maine, it should have been, you had all the TV markets.
you had a mini Big Ten. What the Big Ten is doing, you know what? If they had done what the Big Ten did, they didn't think big enough. See, the Big Ten is thinking, hey, we're going both coasts. Let's expand our league from the middle of the country. Instead of trying to go south to try to pull in a team from like Dallas or somewhere down there, let's go east and west, pull in these big name academic institutions like a UCLA, maybe consider a UVA, and see if we can get these TV markets going coast to coast, where you're going to be playing regional games on Saturdays. You're going to have, if you live on the West Coast, you're going to turn your TV on at what, 10 in the morning? And you're going to see East Coast games kicking off at 12, 1 o'clock, at 10 in the morning on the West Coast.
9 in the morning when it's noon game.
9 in the morning on the noon games. Hour after that, you're going to have the Midwest kicking off. And then obviously 2 hours after the Midwest kicks off, because you go over the mountain and then to the west, then you're going to have your games kicking off, your UCLAs, your USCs, if that's what you're doing. The Big Ten could literally, you could turn your TV on anywhere in the United States from 9 o'clock West Coast time to 5 o'clock East Coast time, and a Big Ten team would be playing.
And then now, I mean, when you talking about now, so when they finish their 7:30 game, which is 10:30 our time, we won't be finished till 1 in the morning.
Correct. So literally,
you go from 9 in the morning their time to 1 in the morning our time.
Dog, you be on TV more than Leave It to Beaver. You be on all day. Open 24 hours like IHOP. No, not IHOP. Waffle House. We don't close. We ain't got a lock on the door. We ain't got nothing. Yeah, buddy.
IHOP, you need to get back to that, man.
I love IHOP.
Love them too, man.
I love IHOP.
Love them too.
Them sausages. They got good sausages up in there, man.
So this year, we're going to be bringing you, listen, it's changing. The landscape is changing in college football.
Yeah.
The NIL, the landscape is changing in the pros because these teams are much better this year, man. And the quarterback, almost every team has a good quarterback this year. When you look at it, only team that don't is probably Seattle.
Yeah, probably Seattle. Yeah, Seattle got a problem, but they've got the draft picks coming in. They got draft picks. They got their draft. They're going to have to draft. That's what they're going to have to do.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's going to be a great year, man. The sports. I mean, it's an adjustment. Some of us old heads ain't used to all these changes.
I'm excited.
ACC, Pac-12 leaving. I mean, it
You know what's going to happen, Tony, and the way I've looked at it is this. Every Saturday, college football, someone's going to throw some steaks on the grill, going to be tailgating before games. Nothing's going to change. People still going to go see the games, Tony. That's not going to change. That would be like saying, hey, Dave, you're not going to watch no UVA games no more? Of course I am. They're not going to be in the ACC, or maybe the ACC is messed up or not the same league. I'm going to still watch my team. You're always going to watch the Hokies. As long as UVA still plays Virginia Tech and North Carolina every year, I got to watch. You know what I'm saying? The big loss for me, obviously, is losing the Maryland rivalry. We don't play, because that's a border game. So we don't play Maryland anymore in basketball and football. That used to be kind of a highlight for me. Being from the DC area,
still play those games.
Now they're going to still go out and do that. Well, you see, in basketball, we might see them in the challenge. I think we played them in the ACC Big Ten Challenge I think it was 2 years ago, right? And then I think last year UVA played against Purdue, which was a run back of that classic Elite Eight game.
Elite Eight game, one of the best games.
It's one of the best games I've ever seen. I'm not just saying that because my team won. It was the way they won. That was incredible. You know, the shot at the buzzer, you know, regulation. Even the UVA play-by-play guy thought that we had won the game on that. He called it for the win. I was like, nah, buddy, we was trying to stay in that joker, okay? Because it looked over. So what else we got today, Tony? We're going to get Devin on next week.
We're going to get Devin on. We're going to start getting our insiders on.
We're going to get Tommy on.
All these insiders on to kind of set the table so we can go through, you know, the preseason on Thursday night. So that's when the games are going to come on. 3 weeks from now is the Jaguars versus the Raiders live. We're going to be coming live.
Jags,
live
Raiders. The Raiders.
So we're going to be live from Canton. And then the next week after that is when all the games kick off.
Yep.
So all the games will kick off on the 11th. The first game is on the 4th.
Can't wait.
3 weeks from now. So
I want to get some tailgating on, man. We need to get some folks on here showing us some tailgate pictures, some steaks and some chops, some chicken and stuff. Let's get that on here, man.
we need to get hey, T-Wayne. Get us on there, baby. Start showing what you're fixing.
Oh, we forgot. When's DK coming on? Shout out to DK.
DK, we got to get you on, man.
Let's get him on next week. We forgot to get him on this
DK
week.
next week, baby. Let's kick off the Washington Commanders. We can't get you on today, Bill West. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, brother.
Bill West was eating crabs the last time I saw him, so I think he's gonna be all right. Had a big old table full of crabs. He good.
Nothing says crab like Maryland Ravens. Y'all see it right
Bill
here.
West.
Crab, baby.
Appreciate you, Bill West. One of the best. He's one of our most loyal watchers, listeners, and contributors to the show. Can't do the show without Bill West.
Indeed.
Hey, man, we're definitely going to catch y'all next week. Should be fun.
Next week.
Appreciate y'all.
Same time.
Same channel.
All right, man.
Appreciate it. Later.